So if you're a guitar addict like me, you might eventually find yourself in a place where you have too many guitars and not enough space. So currently I have a guitar on a stand, a couple in gig bags, a bass, and an acoustic that's lying around, and I have another bass in the mail. Now when my new bass arrives, it's going to have a gig bag, but it's just going to be lying around. So what I want to do is I want to build something, have them hanging on the wall, so that way not only do I have them out of the way, but I can show them off. The way my basement is built, there are these nice big support beams right here, and some even bigger ones here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two ones here and build something that can hang from there with a long piece of wood going horizontally, where then I can hang the guitars from. So as you can see, I'm going to be putting one piece of wood here and one piece of wood here. And then I'm going to mount the larger piece of wood going horizontal using screws connecting to the front of these. Now go ahead, you can use a yardstick or a tape measure and measure the distance between the two pieces of wood that you're attaching to. For mine, it's 21 1/4. Now go ahead and draw a center line for your horizontal piece of wood. So now from here, you're going to want to measure out the width of where those two pieces of wood are, because you're going to want to try to align these pieces of wood as good as you can so that you don't have them at angles, or so that they're not off to a side. Now once you have that done, you're probably ready to start installing it. Let's take a minute to talk about screws. So when you're doing this, you're going to want big screws, about 3 inches long, because this is something that you want to be very sturdy and strong. So right here I have two different types of screws. They look the same, but they're very different. This is a Spax screw, and this is your standard 3-inch screw. These are lighter weight, less durable, and they use a standard Phillips head. These are a heavier material, stronger, and they have their own different type of bit, as you can see. So this screw, the bit is like a 6-point star, so it locks it in place better and it doesn't strip. Now in addition, this screw's front has a teeth-like grooves, and basically what this means is it digs into the wood and you don't have to drill a pilot hole. So this is useful for the more support beams that are being connected up at the top, where it's more difficult to drill pilot holes without having the wood shake around because you have nothing to hold it in place. So I'm going to be using 4 of these and 4 of these. So now you can see that these two pieces are solid and secure, and they're not going anywhere. So now remember these guidelines here. These are what we will use to align the piece of wood. And it really currently looks like either I measured wrong, or yeah, I measured a bit wrong, but I mean, you can mostly eyeball it. It doesn't have to be accurate. You just want to have it somewhat symmetrical. So now before we add this piece of wood to what we have up there, you're going to want to get something to hang the guitar with. So you can either buy an industrial standard one of these, or you could just use these little Y-hook things, which I found at a local store. These do the job well, they don't actually damage the finish, and they're really strong. Today I will just be installing 2 of these, and eventually I will get a 3rd. And I'm using a bit that is close in size, but not exactly the same, so that it still has enough to grab into the wood. And I'm honestly just eyeballing these because I don't really care. See, I messed up this hole here, but that's not a big deal. I really don't care about the look, I just care about the functionality. So here you can see the finished bar. I've put 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 screws up there, 2 screws up there. This thing is sturdy. So I've put a hole there and a hole here. I'm gonna put a hole in the middle here. Currently I do only have 2 of these bolts, but I will be getting a 3rd. So there you have it, the guitar wall mount. Currently I have 2 guitars hanging on it, the Ghettocaster and the Crackcaster. And I honestly think the wood does stand out a bit. But if you want to paint yours or give it a better look, that's up to you. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Anything to help. Bye.